Hi, and welcome to video number 4. In this video, you're going to do a little more brainstorming, but you're going to figure out exactly what kind of services you want to provide. Now, in video 2, you found out about your strengths and what you're good at. Video 3, we talked about, doing some research about your competition and your market. And now you're going to figure out what kind of services you're going to provide and what they're going to cost and things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. The first question that I want you to ask yourself is this: what type of consulting business do you want to run? Do you want to run purely a service-based consulting service? Or do you want to just do advice, or do you want to do both? Now, it might be a good idea to start with one of these two before you do both, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. So when I talk about service-based, let's say, for example, you want to help a realtor build their list of clientele lists, or their prospects. So what you could do is help them set up an autoresponder and a lead capture page. That would be service-based. Now, you could consult them along the way if you wanted to, but if you're just doing consulting, then consulting would be just giving them advice. For example, a lawyer gives a person advice. You hire somebody, let's say, for example, an accountant or CPA. A CPA is a certified, public accountant, somebody who can advise you in terms of taxes and accounting and things like that. So that would be a consulting only business, but you can do both if you want to. Let's say, for example, you're in the marketing consulting business or the copywriting consulting business. So you could offer people services in terms of like writing their copy, writing their ads, writing persuasive content, but you can also advise people who don't want maybe to do your service-based service, but they want to take you up on your consulting and they want to do this themselves. So in this case, you can just coach them and consult with them, tell them what to do, look at their, copywriting, look at their ads, tell them what they need to do in the future to improve their current ads. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, from video number 2, you learned how to determine your best skills. Now, what I want to do now is I want to show you some examples that derive from them. So these examples primarily focus on marketing related consulting businesses. So if you're looking to start your own, let's say, ice skating consulting or wrestling consulting or accounting or lawyer consulting business, you can use these ideas, but you can pretty much ignore these next few slides though. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help you to show you how to dig deeper. Once you learn to, what you want to do, you can dig deeper and find what kind of services you want to do. So let's talk about graphics. Remember how I talked about in video number 2 what kind of learner you are. You've got audio, you got visual, and you got hands-on. Well, graphics tends to fall under the visual / hands-on type of person. So if you found that you're good at graphics and you're good at artists and designing and you have a good eye for that, you may not be the best right now, but that's something that you've done designs and things like that, then this might be something you want to go into. And believe it or not, graphics has a lot in terms of consulting businesses, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. If a company's logo is not that great, it needs to be improved, and you have a good eye for things. You may not be a great designer, but you have a good eye for things. If that's the case, then you can outsource. You can do outsourcing. You can find somebody who is a good graphics designer, hire them, have them work for you on a consistent basis, and you can act as the broker. So you could take a logo that's not as good and improve it as a service-based project. Mini site designing. Online businesses have lots of mini sites. So you could do mini site designing, you could do graphics, logos, website designing. Website designing is big in terms of offline consulting because a lot of businesses offline just don't know how to build a business. They don't know how to build a logo or design a logo and things like that. So like logos, for example, you can charge $200, $300 for a logo. All you have to do is find somebody to outsource it to. You can get a really good logo designed for less than 10 to 20 bucks. Have it designed, and guess what? You're pretty much consulting in that manner. So graphics can turn into company logos, branding, brand marketing. So you could become a brand marketing consultant or a branding marketing consultant. Logical. Let's say you're the type of person that is very logical. You're good at, let's say, for example, programming. You may not be a programming. For example, I used to program, but I found that I was really not that good in programming. But I'm very logical, so I have the ability to create really good software programs in terms of taking an idea and creating a software product out of that. So I've done this before where I've taken an idea, I've created, the software specifications and helped people create software projects. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you here that you may not necessarily be good at something. You may not even know how to design graphics or do programming. But if you know how to get around that and you're logical and you know how to create website programs, you're good at computers or, things like that, then you can go into the website/marketing consulting area. The website consulting area, the programming, the software development consulting area. So these are ideas, and I'm just showing you that you really don't have to know how to do it in order to make money from it. You just have to find out somebody who is good at it, make sure that they're doing a good job, and go from that point. Writing. Not everybody is good at writing, but if you're kind of good at it and you have a good view of copywriting, writing, sales copy, press releases, article writing, persuasive writing, ads writing, and so forth, PPC ads writing, and all that other stuff, then you can get somebody to do copywriting for you, or you can do it yourself. And you can read a couple books on copywriting and test and tweak and make, improve yourself in the area of copywriting and advise people, write sales copy. You could write press releases. You know how many companies are willing to pay you to write a press release and get it submitted to Google News? Well, let's say, for example, press releases. You can get somebody to write a press release for less than 20, 30 bucks. You could use sites like WebWire and other sites like WebWire. You could do article marketing, submit them to sites like Easy Articles, onlywire.com, and actually onlywire does social bookmarking, but in a way, indirectly, you can use article marketing and submit articles as social bookmarks. But I'm not going to get into that right now. The point is, companies, local businesses are willing to pay you anywhere from $500 to $1,000 if you can get a press release written and if you can get that press release submitted to Google News. You can use WebWire, you can use prweb.com. WebWire is only 20 bucks. I think it's $19.99, but technically that's 20 bucks. But you submit to them and they can get you that press release into Google News. Now, most offline businesses don't realize, but when they hear, wow, you can write a press release and get it submitted to Google News. I mean, think about it, Google News. When I first submitted a press release to prweb.com, it cost me $169, but in a matter of hours, I was submitted to Google News. In a matter of weeks, I was getting thousands among thousands of backlinks. So imagine you telling an offline business, hey, I can write a press release for you, I can get it submitted to Google News, and I can guarantee that you're going to get hundreds and hundreds of backlinks to that press release. And just that alone, costs you less than $50 to produce and submit. That alone, you can charge a couple $1,000s to do. Sales copy, article writing is another powerful thing in persuasive writing and things like that. Now, I don't want to go on and on and on and talk about this, but classified ads writing, as you can see, you can become a copywriting consultant. So if you're a copywriting consultant and you go into this specific niche, you can see that within this specific niche, you can become very, very popular. So you could even go after realtors. You could be a realtor copywriting consultant. You could be a plumber marketing / copywriting consultant. And you can make pretty good money just with writing alone. Like I said, you don't have to be able to write. You may be a guy or a person, a male or female, that you don't know how to write. As long as you know how to outsource, and as long as you know how to read through and make sure that it is indeed a good press release, then you can become a copywriting consultant or a persuasive ad copy consultant. Now let's move on to general internet marketing. This is pretty broad, but you can do pretty much everything that I showed you: writing graphics, mini site designs, logos, brand marketing, autoresponders, online marketing, lead generation, different types of traffic like search engine optimization, pay-per-click marketing, which is a big one among offline businesses, article marketing, and so forth. So in terms of general internet marketing, there's so much that you can offer in general internet marketing. Like, for example, PPC, SEO. If you do just one of those, that's just huge. And PPC marketing, if you can do internet PPC plus ad copy for PPC, that's actually very, very big with offline businesses, with dealing with offline businesses. And that brings us to offline marketing. You can become an offline marketing consultant if you want to. You can get their ads submitted to Yellow Pages. In fact, I had a friend that all he did was sell Yellow Page ads, and he said it was a couple $100 to $1,000. If you're an online marketer, you go to the offline arena, you can tell people, you can say, hey, you're spending a couple $1,000 with Yellow Pages. You can pay me a couple thousand. I will do a much better job for you than Yellow Pages can. And with the online marketing and PPC and everything like that, you can actually help offline business owners a lot more than Yellow Pages can help them. So you're really helping them in the long run. You can do print ads, you can do direct mail, postcards, trade shows, PR, and more. In fact, I have a friend who's an offline marketing consultant, and she does very, very well because she knows, trade shows and things like that. And it only took her, I think, about a year to learn offline marketing. Now, she actually worked for an offline marketing company as a consultant, but now she's her own consultant, and she's doing very well with that. Another thing you can do is you can act as a broker. Now, I briefly touched base, on graphic design and things like that. Acting as a broker is basically like you're like a middleman, but you can outsource everything and you're just making a cut. So, for example, the graphic design, logo, and brand marketing, even if you don't know how to do graphic design or logo creation and things like that, you can offer that as a service. Now, how do you do that? Well, you can outsource by using different sites like odesk.com, scriptlance.com, rentacoder.com, guru.com, fiverr.com, and more. Now, I will say in terms of graphic design, I have found people that can design primarily on Odesk and I would say scriptlance.com. Even though Scriptlance is primarily a programming site, I've been able to find really good graphic designers there, and Odesk.com. Scriptlance.com, I've found you can also find really good programmers. So if, for example, you wanted to be a software consultant, you can use Scriptlance.com. But one thing you have to make sure is when you're a broker, you don't want to, let's say you give a deadline to the client. You say, hey, I'm going to get this done in 2 weeks. If you don't have a good relationship with somebody already, whether through Odesk, Scriptlance, Rentacoder, Guru.com, or Fiverr.com, if you don't have a good relationship with some freelancer, designer, programmer, or so forth, then they may not stick with that day. So you definitely want to give yourself double the amount of time to give yourself enough wiggle room just in case somebody comes back, 2 weeks later. Now, I will say graphic design is generally fast. Software programming, generally I give them double the time. So if the programmer comes back to me, says, hey, this is going to take a month, I'm going to go to the client and tell them it's going to take about a month and a half. But, I'm going to say it's going to take about 2 months to develop the software. But what I'm going to do is knock off a few couple $100 off your cost, just to make the client a little happier. Fiverr.com is a good site. It's a site that you can go to pay people $5 to basically do just about anything. Article marketing. I've found programmers on there. Programmers, not that great. It's okay, but graphic design and article writing I found to be phenomenal. Pay $5, it's pretty amazing. So give it a try. So like I said, the advantages of being a broker is you save time, you save money. But the disadvantages is if you find bad workers and you don't have a relationship with somebody, you can decrease your reputation and your credibility. So the best things best to start out with is to build around your consulting business something that you're already good at. Eventually, as you get more and more clients, you can outsource that work. Or you can act like a broker and find somebody who is good and build a good relationship with them and then build a consulting business around that.